Everyone, hope everyone's doing well today, and if you're watching for the first time, my name is Marianne Hanson. I'm the counsellor and the owner at NU Journeys Counselling. I provide counselling to couples. I also work with individuals and I specialise in the areas of relationships. I also work with individuals with stress, depression, anxiety and low self-esteem and low self-worth. So in this video, what I want to talk about is 5 of the relationship books that I have at home that I use quite a lot. These are books that I've recommended to people. These are books that I feel are very, very interesting and are a good read. All I'm going to do, because I don't want to make this a really long video, I'm just going to briefly touch on what they're about, and then I'm going to give them marks out of 10. Now, all of these books that I'm talking about, I've actually made book reviews, I think, for all of them. So you can find them on my YouTube channel, and then you can make your decision yourself. And also, maybe you want to make a video as well that you can compare and contrast, because you can do your own book review. So the first book is called Men Are Like Waffles, Women Are Like Spaghetti. Now this book is by Bill and Pam Farrell. They're a couple, married obviously, and the book explores differences in the way that men and women communicate. Now, I've recommended this book to quite a few of the couples I've worked with, but I've also used some of the exercises from the book. What I like about it is that it's straight to the point. I love the fact that it gives the analogy of how men and women communicate, and by understanding the differences in the way that we communicate, it means we can actually make some changes, we can make adjustments, and we can have better communication. So I would give this book 8 out of 10. Reason being because it's easy to read, easy to understand, and it gives a different perspective. So as with other books over the years, like Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, it's got a similar track to it, but I just like the way it gives the better analogy. You know, men operate in this compartmentalized way, and that's like waffles, and women talk, sometimes they go all over the place like spaghetti, and it helps you understand how you can change your communication patterns so that you can improve communication between the sexes. So that's the first one. The second book is Can We Start Again Please? And this book is by Andrew G. Marshall. And the bottom bit of it says 20 questions to fall back in love. So this is the book. It's very small, as you can see. Now, what I like about it is it provides really quick exercises that you can do as a couple. It's a very small book. It's got short chapters, simple to read. It's got quizzes in there. I wouldn't say there's anything in there that is particularly different from other books. I didn't really get any major revelations, and especially as a couples counsellor, there was nothing in there that I probably didn't know already. But the way that he breaks it down, especially with the exercises, is why it's a good book. If you just want to find a quick, short book where you can get some great examples of how you can find out what's bothering you, how you can reconnect, how you can increase intimacy, then this is a really good book. So I would also give it 8 out of 10 mostly because of how short it is and easy to read. But as I said, I didn't find loads of, light bulb moments in there at all, but it is still a good book. So another book that I really enjoyed reading, and this is one of my favourite books, I've not only recommended it to people, but I also got a lot from it myself, and it's called Getting to I Do, and it's called by Dr. Patricia Allen. Now, what I love about this book is it talks about the seasons in your relationships, it talks about feminine and masculine energy. It gives really great examples of how, as a woman, it's mainly written for single women who want to get married. But I would say that anyone reading it, even if you're already married, you would still get something from the book, because it's all about, increasing the possibility of your marriages being successful, really, by recognising that there are seasons in your relationship. It also talks about commitment phases, it talks about intimacy, but one of the chapters, as I've already mentioned, about the masculine and feminine energy was really, really insightful to me, because it was talking about how you can become too masculine as a woman in certain ways, or a man can become too feminine, and you might not even be aware of the energy based on the behaviour that you're portraying. So I would give this book 9 out of 10 because I really, really enjoyed it. I would say it's probably more for single women if you want to get married and you just want to get more insight into that journey really. But it's also a really good book for anyone to learn things about. So the fourth book that I want to talk about is, and I've made a separate video on this one, a really lengthy video actually, so you can go and check that out on my YouTube channel. It's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff in Love. And it says, simple ways to nurture and strengthen your relationships whilst avoiding the habits that break down your loving connection. It's written by Richard and Chris Carlson. So it's another book that is written by a couple, married couple. The book is really, really easy to understand. As you can see from it, I've highlighted quite a lot of chapters. I've printed off loads of these chapters for the couples that I work with. It's very straightforward, easy to understand, relatable. It just makes you think, really. There's things that you're probably doing, which we've all probably done in relationships, which we're not aware of, that are having the impact on your partner. So I would say it's a really good book. I've given it 8.5 out of 10. Although I really enjoy it, I think, as with another book I've mentioned, it hasn't got any massive insights, but I do think it's really easy to read and to understand. So don't sweat the small stuff. I would say this is probably for couples if you're going through a rough patch, or if you just want to, you know, work on certain aspects of your marriage, because each chapter has a different issue to tackle. And the final book is called Why Men Don't Listen and Why Men Don't Listen and Women Can't Read Maps. Now, I bought it because of the title, and I think, to be honest, the title is the thing that grabs your attention, and I think you think it's going to be a funny book and quirky, but I'll be honest, I'm only going to give it 7 out of 10 because I feel it's a bit patronising. It's quite gender biased. There's some valid points in there, but as you can see, it's quite a thick book. It spends too much time talking about examples of, you know, women are not very good at navigating, men are better at sat-navs, men are better at DIY. It's very 1950s in the sense that it's quite patronising in terms of the biased roles, and it doesn't necessarily throughout the book take into account the differences between men and women, in the sense that you can have some women that are better at maybe navigating and things. I'd say it's okay if you want a book with a fancy title and you just want to maybe find out a bit more and, you know, add it to your collection, then you can do. But I wouldn't say it's a fantastic book, but however, it does have some valid points in there. So as I've said, most of these books that I'm talking about, I've done lengthier book reviews on my channel, so you can check them out. But if there is a book that you feel you want to buy, then the best thing to do is go onto Amazon, type in what your actual issue is. So if it's communication, if it's, I don't know, intimacy or whatever it is, maybe put that in the search bar and see what books come up, and just whatever draws you to the title or whatever it is, then just purchase that book really, because you won't know. So one of the books that I haven't mentioned on here but I've done as an audio book is called The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. That is a fantastic book, which I'd actually give 9 out of 10 for that book. And then, yeah, that's it really. So this was just a really brief video talking about 5 books, 6 if you mention the Gary Chapman book, that I feel are really useful as part of the work that I do. Thanks for watching, guys. Please feel free to like, to share, to subscribe to my channel, and leave your comments. I'll answer every single comment that is left, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.